She walked into the forest on what seemed like a normal day. But what happened next will leave you completely speechless. This isn't just another missing hiker story. This one has a chilling twist. Because hidden deep in those woods, a camera was secretly recording every terrifying second. At first, the hike seemed peaceful. The sound of birds filled the air. The sun broke through the tall trees, and everything looked calm. She carried her backpack, water bottle, and camera, smiling as she recorded the beauty of nature. Nothing suggested danger. But nature often hides secrets, and that day, the forest was hiding something dark. The trail she followed wasn't well known. It wasn't on tourist maps, and even locals rarely went there. Some said the path was cursed. Others claimed strange lights appeared at night. Still, she thought it was just a story until she found herself completely alone with no phone signal and no way out. Unbeknownst to her, the woods weren't silent. Hidden cameras placed along the trail were watching her every move. At first, the footage showed nothing unusual, just her walking, stopping for photos, even laughing at the beauty around her. But then, something in the background began to change. The trees seemed to shift. Shadows appeared where there should have been none. The footage captured her pausing, tilting her head, sensing something watching. She wasn't wrong, and those who later viewed the footage couldn't believe what they saw next. She started to move faster, her calm steps turning into nervous strides. The camera caught her glancing back again and again. Behind her, far in the distance, something moved. It wasn't an animal! It wasn't another hiker. It was tall, dark, and eerily stall-low-most, blending into the trees. She tried to stay calm, recording small clips on her handheld camera as if to prove to herself she was Zanti imagining things. But the hidden cameras showed the truth. She wasn't alone. Something was following her, and it was getting closer each time she stopped to breathe. The forest seemed endless. The trail twisted and vanished, leading her deeper into the unknown. She looked tired, confused, and frightened. The camera zoomed in on her trembling hands as she tried to check her phone, only to find no service. The feeling of being trapped started to sink in. Then, the most chilling part happened. The footage showed her running suddenly, as if something had appeared right in front of her. The frame shook as she sprinted down the trail, but when the camera panned back, the figure wasn't behind her. Anymore, it was ahead, waiting. The final clip before she vanished is almost too disturbing to watch. She looks directly at the hidden camera, as if she somehow knew it was there. Her eyes wide, her mouth open as if about to scream, then the video cuts off. No trace of her was ever found in the forest again. Search teams arrived quickly after her family reported her missing. Dozens of volunteers, dogs, and drones swept the entire area. But the forest seemed to swallow every clue. Not a single footprint, not a single torn piece of clothing, not even her backpack was ever discovered. It was as if she had stepped into another world and never returned. The authorities tried to explain it away. They said maybe she got lost, maybe an animal attacked, maybe she fell into a hidden ravine, but none of these theories made sense. The cameras showed something far more disturbing than an accident. The figure captured behind her couldn't be explained by wildlife or by human hikers. Experts studied the footage frame by frame. They enhanced the shadows, zoomed in, slowed it down. What they found was terrifying. The tall figure behind her didn't move like a person. It didn't walk, it glided. Its shape didn't match any known creature, and its face, well, it didn't even seem to have one. People online soon got hold of the video, and it spread like wildfire. Millions of viewers argued about what they were seeing. Some claimed it was proof of the paranormal. Others swore it was a government experiment. And then there were those who thought it might be something even worse, something ancient that lived in those woods. Locals began coming forward with their own stories. They spoke of strange noises at night, of whispers in the trees, of people feeling watched every time they dared to enter that forest. Some even admitted they knew of others who vanished, but the cases were never made public. The chilling part is that the cameras weren't placed randomly. Someone had set them up long before she entered the forest, but no one has ever admitted to installing them. Who put them there? Why were they recording that exact trail? And most importantly, what did they know about the thing in the woods? Her family released her personal footage in hopes of finding answers. In it, you can hear her nervous laugh turning into silence. You can see her trying to keep calm while clearly panicking inside. At one point, she whispers, "I think someone's following me." That was her last recorded message. Conspiracy theorists connected her disappearance to older legends. Some said it was the Watcher of the Forest. A spirit said 2 trapped lost souls. Others compared it to missing 411 Cassis mysteries, where hikers vanish without a trace in national parks across the world. Police eventually closed the case, calling it an unresolved disappearance. But the footage never stopped circulating. Every time someone new watches it, the same question chills their spine: what was stalking her? And why did it let the camera see everything? To this day, no one has dared to hike that trail again. The path is now overgrown, silent, and abandoned. But those who live nearby claim at night, if you listen closely, you can still hear footsteps echoing in the dark like someone's being followed all over again. Some investigators believe the hidden cameras were part of a bigger plan. Maybe someone wanted to document the strange activity in those woods. Maybe they already knew people were being hunted there. If that's true, then why didn't they ever warn anyone? Why let her walk straight into danger? Others think the cameras weren't meant for safety at all. They say the footage was bait-proof, collected for reasons we may never understand. The way the video ends, with her staring right into the lens, feels less like an accident and more like a message. Almost as if she knew the Watchers were involved. Theories grew darker as more people analyzed the case. Some claimed the figure wasn't a spirit or creature at all, but a man in some kind of strange suit. A stalker, using the forest to lure victims, capturing them where no one could hear them scream. If true, that means the camera caught not just a mystery, but a crime. But here is the scariest part. People who study the footage say there are moments you didn't notice at first. Hidden in the trees, other shapes appear for only a split second. More than one figure. As if she wasn't being followed by one thing but surrounded. Her family still refuses to give up. They continue to demand answers, pushing the case back into the spotlight every year. They believe the truth is still out there in those woods, waiting to be uncovered. But the longer it stays hidden, the more terrifying the possibilities become. Some hikers who dare to go near the area say their phones stop working. Batteries drain in minutes. Compasses spin wildly. And more than one visitor claims they felt an invisible hand brush against their shoulder, even though no one was there. Late at night, strange videos keep appearing online. Shaky clips of shadows darting between trees. Whispers caught on audio. Most get dismissed as hoaxes, but some match perfectly with the figure seen in her disappearance. Almost like the story isn't over yet. Paranormal investigators who visited the site describe a heavy silence, like the forest itself is holding its breath. Birds won't sing there. Animals won't step near. One investigator even claimed his equipment picked up a faint voice saying, "She-ass, still here." To this day, the missing hiker's case remains one of the most chilling mysteries ever caught on camera. Whether it was a spirit, a creature, or something far more human, one fact is impossible to ignore. The camera didn't lie. It saw what she saw and did, captured her final moments forever. And now, every time you watch that footage, you can't help but wonder, is she still out there, lost in the woods? Or did something take her? Something that might still be waiting for its next victim right now in the shadows.